Well, good day. We're doing another midweek challenge, and I want to continue to challenge you around the whole area of personal growth, growing in your life, and growing in your walk with God. And one of the verses that's been real special to me, really right from when I first started growing in the Lord, is Luke 2:52. It's about Jesus. It's actually one of the very few verses that we get about Jesus' childhood. And it says this: Jesus grew in wisdom, in stature, and in favor with God and man. It names 4 areas that Jesus grew in. He grew in wisdom, that would be mentally. He grew in stature, that would be physically. He grew in favor with God, that'd be spiritually. And he grew in favor with man, that'd be relationally. Now, it's amazing to me to think that Jesus grew in those areas. How could Jesus grow spiritually? He's already perfect, right? How could Jesus grow relationally? Isn't he already really good at loving people and being in relationships? And yet, Jesus, just like everybody else, he was human in that sense, right? He was fully God, fully man, but he had to grow as well. And this really helps me because I think sometimes we think of growth as pass or fail. In other words, sometimes you look at your life and you're like, well, if I'm doing good, then I'm successful. And if I'm not doing great, then I'm unsuccessful. It's better to think about growth as just always getting better. So if you succeed at something, ask yourself, what can I learn from that? How can I grow from that? If you fail at something, ask yourself, what can I learn from that? How can I grow from that? So instead of thinking just like, I suck or I'm great, I'm bad or I'm good, think, I can always get better. Do you know this? The very best people at any area of life, the best writers, the best speakers, the best hockey players, the best golfers, all of those things, the very best in the whole world, they still get coaching. What does that mean? How could a coach possibly coach the best hockey player or the best golfer? And they not only get coaching, they long for coaching. They look for coaching. They're pleading for coaches to help them improve. So you take the best in the world at something and you say to them, here's what you did wrong. You just did the best golf swing that, maybe any human being has ever done, and I still want to know how I can improve it. I still want to know how I can do it better. That's how the best become the best, right? So the same idea is in our own growth. You're just always asking that question, how can I do better? Knowing that you can do better at something doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're smart. It means you're wise. It means you're trying to grow, okay? So here's the 4 areas that I'm always looking at in my life. I try to do these 2 things with them. I try to evaluate and then ask, what can I do to improve? And the 4 areas are mentally, I want to be always growing in wisdom. Physically, I want to always be working on my physical growth. In favor with God, that's spiritually, I always want to be working on that. And relationally, I always want to be working on my relational life. Jesus grew in wisdom, stature, favor with God, and favor with man. So you can take those 4 areas. Right now is around New Year's. So if you're watching this video around New Year's, take those 4 areas, evaluate your life mentally, physically, spiritually, relationally. Take those 4 areas and say, how am I doing? What can I do to go to another level? What can I do to get better? And when you're thinking of that, what can I do piece? First think who, then do. So think, who do I want to become mentally, spiritually, relationally, physically? Who do I want to become? And then what can I do to work my way there? And you can always be improving. If Jesus grew and he was already perfect, then it's not a slam on you to say you can grow too in all of those areas. So go for it, keep on growing, keep on setting goals, and let's keep challenging ourselves to be all the people that God has called us to be, to keep reaching our full potential. Blessed.